Some things don't look like much in the beginning, just layers: wood, scraps, soil, flour, water, time. But not everything that feeds you starts on the surface. I'm trying to build a more self-sufficient life right here, and I'm figuring it out as I go. Last week, I started something I'd been thinking about for a long time: my second raised bed. It wasn't simple. It took more out of me than I expected. But it started with a decision to begin. Starting something is only part of the journey. Finishing it is where it becomes real. Instead of filling this bed the traditional way, I wanted to try something different. A method called hugelkultur, layering wood, organic material, and soil. Building a bed that slowly feeds itself over time. It's not the fastest way, it's not the neatest way, but it's built for the long run.
I have a bunch of scrap wood from old projects that I've worked on that have just been accumulating here. I don't think this kind of stuff I'm going to use in my raised garden bed, but I also have wood that I've just collected while I was walking around, and I don't know why I grabbed this stuff. I thought maybe I could do something with it. I'm thinking I'm borderline hoarder at this time. But I'll throw this stuff. I also have some firewood. We don't have a fireplace, so I don't know why we have this. But this has been sitting here for years too. So I'm going to throw this into the garden bed. And again, the goal of all this is to be able to fill it with as much organic matter so that I can use as least amount of good soil as I need to at the very bottom where the plants aren't going to get. The soil that I want to use for actually growing has to be only on the top 12 inches. And since my raised beds are around 24 inches, this is just to fill up the bottom to give it height.
This part isn't glamorous. It's heavy, messy, a little uncertain. There's no instant result, no immediate reward. Just trust that what you're building underneath will matter later. As I lay everything in, I start thinking about how much growth happens underneath the surface. The parts nobody sees, the parts that take time, the parts you have to trust are working even when it looks like nothing is happening yet. Maybe foundations are supposed to be quiet. Later that day, my hands were covered in flour instead of soil, and it felt strangely familiar. Bread works the same way. Simple ingredients, a quiet process, time doing most of the work. You don't rush it, you don't force it, you participate, and then you wait.
I have been making my own bread for quite a while now. It's one of the first things that I tried to learn how to make on my own when I wanted to start baking my own goods. In the beginning, it wasn't really about health reasons. It was mostly out of experimenting and having fun and trying to provide good food for my family, or interesting foods for them to eat. So it is one of the things I learned how to make first, and I feel like I've got it down. At least the just plain white bread I've got down. From the plain white bread, I did move on to sourdough bread, and it took me a while to figure out how to make sourdough bread. I find that when it comes to bread making, it's really individual to each person. I can give you a recipe, but that recipe might not work for you. You do have to learn how to tweak it and work it your own way. So this bread that I'm making today is my sourdough, and I can leave the recipe that I use in the description, but I think you really just have to play around with ratios and get to something that you're comfortable with, because bread is very individual to each person, each family. What my family likes might not be what your family likes. And so there's so many, because of the ingredients, you can change the ratios around. I think it really is, you just have to get comfortable with messing up and trying again every single time you make bread. And that's what I do. I just I experiment with my bread recipes. I started off with one that I went online and found, and little by little I tweaked it until I got to a recipe that I enjoy.
By the end of the day, the bed was finally full, not just with soil, but with layers of intention, patience, trust, future growth I won't see right away. And maybe that's the point. Some things feed you now, some things feed you later. And sometimes the best things you build do both.